Hello, welcome. First, let me thank you for taking this course. On this course, I'm going to teach you how to create a file ready for printing. And the reason why this is important is because most of the times we are sometimes not really aware if we're working for a screen or we want to work for printing until the point where a client or maybe we find ourselves in a situation where we need to hand this file for printing. So we start to care a little bit about these details. In this course, I'm going to use a postcard as an example to show you how to prepare a file and use different resources. I'm here on Freepik, and something that I really like about Freepik is that besides for providing amazing resources and photos and graphics, you can also have some inspiration and see what other people are doing. Very nice designers have here resources that you could see and find some inspiration. Most of the postcards here are for personal events like birthdays or Christmas or a wedding. We're going to be doing a commercial postcard, the type of work that you may get for a client. And we're going to pretend that we have a fictional restaurant and create a postcard where we are going to be advertising some items or some dishes that this restaurant is going to offer. So first we need to know about postcard sizes. And here you can see that there are different sizes of postcard, and that would depend the size would depend really on the part of the world you are in. So we're going to be working on the basic one, which is 6 inches for 4 1/4. And the reason of that is because I think it's one of the most common sizes, but this is something that you could definitely talk to your printer and see which are the postcard sizes that they are offering, which are the ones that are cheaper, or which are the ones that would work better for your project. Also, you are going to get from your printer information about bleeding and other printing aspects. This is really important that you talk to your printer about. So we're going to go to Illustrator and we're going to create our document that is 6 inches by 4.25 inches. I'm using the latest version of Illustrator CC, but if you're using a previous version, maybe your layout is going to look more like this. In here, you could input the same value, that I just applied here, and make sure that your units are in inches. Now we're going to add some bleed, and this is a number that you're going to get from your printer, but here's where you are going to input that number. And in here I just I actually just added a 0.125 inches because I think that is enough space. And the bleed is important because this is a part of your work where artwork is going to exist, and the reason for this is that if at some point your work gets shifted a little bit, you're going to still have some information in this bleed area. Otherwise, you would end up with white blanks or some really undesired results. So you have to understand that you need these bleeds to prevent those accidents from happening. After you do that, you're going to select your color mode, and CMYK is the most used for printing. RGB is pretty much used for screens or projects that you're not going to be printing, so it is very important that your color mode is CMYK and not RGB. Then you have to pay attention on the raster effects, and I would recommend that you get a resolution as high as possible. You can see here that 72 ppi is the screen default. But if you're going to be printing, you really need a high resolution, so 300 ppi is just fine. And with these settings now applied, we're going to create our document. As you can see here, I have my document created and I have a white canvas showing the dimensions that I just input, and also this red line around it, that is a bleed. And the bleed is very important that it is there because it is showing us how much we need to create in between our artboard and our bleed. This information has to be there so our printer can use it. We're going to go to our tools panel and find the artboard tool, and we're going to make a copy by clicking on this artboard, and then I'm just zooming in and zooming out with Ctrl- and Ctrl+, and I'm going to just drag my artboard and while pressing Shift and Alt, create a copy. And the reason of this is because our postcard is going to have 2 sides, and you can go here to the artboard windows, and if you don't see it for whatever reason, you can go to Window, Artboards, and you're going to be able to see this one, and you can see how I can go between my artboards right here and change the name on the top. I'm going to name this one Back because this is going to be the part that is on the back, and you can see how the name has changed. And it's very important that you keep your files organized, because you're going to be handing these files to someone and you want that other person quickly understands what you have been doing. So I'm going to name the other artboard front, because this is going to be the front part, and with this I'm almost set to begin working on my project. So on the next lesson we're going to add some content and keep working on creating the design for our postcard.